Hello followers and welcome back to MrMFretwell Plays Minecraft, and in today's episode we are back here in the cabin once again after our big adventure over the last two episodes. And in today's episode we're going to kind of organise a bunch of stuff and start a few things, being as we have some more supplies now. Just got to reload the chunks. Did chop down a tree just before we went live here, so I'll put those saplings away. So the first area we're going to stop off at is the zombie grinder, and we're going to hook up a brewing stand and a couple of things like that down there. Now you may be wondering, I said last episode I was going to release a world download, and I didn't. Well, that was because being in that cabin in the middle of nowhere wasn't very conducive to people who wanted to see this area. So what we're going to do in today's episode is actually we are going to hook up a pathway to that other portal in the Nether from our portal right here, so that we can actually have a connection to the two. So that's going to be what we're going to do, and at the end of this episode there will be a world download released. So we've obviously fixed up the zombie grinder. So I think I guess the next thing I should say is actually how I got back here, because we didn't see that. So basically, I actually went back through the Nether because I had coordinates for this portal, and it was a fair trek, actually. It was longer than I thought it was going to be, but we are there nonetheless, and we got back, and I've kind of unloaded all my equipment here. One thing I do want to do is plant some melons and some pumpkins, so let's get those going. And do I have a hoe? I do indeed. So we can start and get those planted. Anything else that we need? Not right now. So that's good to know. So yeah, I came back through the Nether. It was a fair old trek, but it wasn't too bad. And now we are pretty much set, really, in terms of supplies. The only thing I didn't find in the end was podsol. I'm going to show you a clip once we've done this of actually me finding the ice spikes biome. I did find one of those south of the mesa. I haven't found any of the mega taiga yet though, so we're going to have to do a little bit of research into where that may be and do a bit more exploring before we actually find the mega taiga biome. I don't know where exactly they spawn and stuff like that, so I'll have to probably do a little bit of research into that. Where do I want to plant these? I mean, there I guess will do. And they'll flop over here and that should be fine. We don't need as many pumpkins as we do melons at the moment, so it's good to see that they're growing, and we've got that going on now. So I'm going to show you this clip of me visiting the ice spikes biome, and I keep getting saplings. I think that is the last one though now. So I will show you guys that clip, and then we will be back, and I'm also going to work on hooking up the tunnel between the two portals here, and then when we get back we'll probably kind of analyze the situation a little bit and see what to do from there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will be right back with you guys. Okay guys, another first here. We've got ice plane spikes, and I found this directly south of the mesa, so pretty easy to get to, honestly. A bit of sailing, and I found an ice plane, so I carried on exploring, and my reward is ice plane spikes. And again, this biome I've actually never seen in single player mode or at all. I don't think I've never even teleported to one. So this is a unique first for me, but I really do like the look of it, honestly, with the packed ice. So we could check that off our list. I'm going to silk touch a bunch of it and bring it back to the jungle cabin for right now, and then I'll transport it back later. But it's within easy access, so I'm probably not going to build a portal here, honestly, unless the craving really happens that I need a lot of this stuff. So yeah, let's see what else I have to offer or find. Alrighty guys, so I've been working very hard since the last clip you saw. I can't remember exactly what it was that I was doing, but a lot of stuff has been done, and it's been a couple of days. I've not had an opportunity to do any recording with events and things going on, but one thing that I did is I did a ton of grinding. I went out for the day and left my grinder running, so I got plenty of supplies. I now have everything pretty much fully repaired. Didn't really need to repair my sword. I didn't need to repair my bow. Did repair my pick. I didn't repair the shovel. Repaired the axe. I also repaired the silk touch. Whoops. And the fortune pick as well. So they were all repaired and ready to go. So that was well worth it. I've kind of organised some of my stuff here and sort of separated things out a little bit. I've just been doing that. I also worked in the Nether quite a bit, and I've got a path now to the Nether fortress and the portal next to the Mesa biome. So up here is actually the portal which leads to the Mesa biome. It's off this way somewhere, and it's quite a long tunnel, honestly. I burnt down my work pick, well, what was left of it, completely, and had to repair it, and I also went through a good portion of my silk touch pick in actually digging that tunnel. But now we do have that hook up to the Nether fortress if we have any blaze rods, wither skulls, things like that. And also we have the hook up to the Mesa biome, which is going to be very handy. So there we go, there's the tunnel. And it goes for around maybe 200 blocks this way and then around 500 that way, and you get to the portal. So that means that this episode I will be putting out a world download so that you can go between the two different areas without trying to find your way, basically. I wanted to make it as easy as possible for you to get between the different bases. So at this point, the next thing I want to do in my sort of odd jobs list, if you will, is actually get above the Nether and use the dark oak trick to break through the bedrock. Now, you may be wondering, why do I want to do that? Well, I need to do that because I'm going to put a gold farm up there, eventually. Now, I could build the gold farm down here in the regular Nether, and yes, it is exciting, but it means that I have to do a lot of land clearing, and to save on supplies and time and all of that sort of stuff, what we're going to do is we're going to go above the Nether in order to do it. Now you will see that I have 9 ender pearls. I went and killed some endermen so that we could get these 9 ender pearls, and we're going to go through the roof, and then we're going to use these dark oak saplings to actually get back through. Now this is a bit of a risk because it could go incredibly wrong, and because it's bedrock, I could be stuck up there. Now that's why I'm going to drop off a lot of my valuable things so that I don't lose too much when I do go up there. So yeah, I think I'm just going to make some iron tools and drop off my armor, things like that. I would bring an ender chest up there with me, and that potentially would be a good idea, being as the fact I have blaze powder and ender pearls, but I want to use all of these ender pearls in trying to get up there, so I'm not going to waste anything. So I'm going to take off my armor, that way we can't lose it. There's not going to be any mobs up there, so we're not going to die, hopefully. Although we are going to need to wear those, unfortunately, because otherwise I'm going to die from the fall damage. Sword I could drop off. I'm going to take that in replacement. I'm going to take this and take that. I'm going to drop that off, and I'm going to make a iron pick. And we'll also whip up an iron axe. So we are going to need some sticks, which I do have, and we're going to need 4 sticks. And I'm also going to drop off my shovel because we won't need that. And we could drop off the torches, I guess. The axe is going to get dropped off. So basically, I'm just carrying around a bunch of junk now. So if it goes wrong, it's not too terrible. It's not great, but it's not too bad. So we also want... We've got a sword. Oh yeah, we've got an axe, so we need a pickaxe. And that's just to chop through netherrack. That's all that's for. Is there anything else I really want before I leave? I don't think so. So, these are the most valuable things I'm carrying at the moment. I've got plenty of bone meal, got some dirt, I've got some basic tools and equipment here. So the first thing to do is actually going to be to find a suitable spot to actually get up in the Nether. We want to get as close to as 128 as possible. Now, at the top of my ladder, it is 124. So we need to try and get a little bit higher than that if we can. Maybe 126, 128. Well, 127 is the highest we could potentially get. But I don't know if we'll be that lucky. But 4 blocks does seem an awful lot to try and travel with just 9 ender pearls. So we're not going to risk that for the moment. I didn't bring any ladders, but that's not too bad. We can fix that. So this is this is currently 124. So we need to try, if we can, to get a little bit higher than that. By just kind of clearing out land. See, right here we've got a little bit right there. And if I use an ender pearl to get in there, then I'm going to be 2 blocks higher. So I'm going to be at 125 there. And, let's see. Can I get any higher? I don't know. It looks as if this is actually like the top layer of the bedrock. And I can't get up above that. So let's get in here. And now what we've got to do is... Oops. Well, I don't know where we're going to land now. So I guess we're going to be a bit confused because I don't know where the ladder well is, unfortunately. But I don't think we're too far away, honestly. This is what happens, you see. But at least we survived that. Let's get ourselves a load of bone meal. It doesn't matter too much where this comes out, honestly. I'm not too worried about where it comes out. Because it's just going to be a little ladder well type deal. It's not going to be too much of a problem. There's a lot of mushrooms up here. So let's bone meal this tree. Now what we do here is we actually knock these out. And we put another set of dark oak in. And you get this effect. And I was not expected to get that on my first go, so I'm pretty happy with that. This also means I'm going to get saplings back, which is great. So now we need to knock out the wood. If we can. Perfect. Look at that. That is absolutely perfect. That went too well. Literally now I have a straight path right up to the top. And that is brilliant. So what I need to do now is I need to run back and grab some ladders. And then we need to complete the ladder well. And that will give us everything that we need to get on top of the Nether. And in a couple of episodes' time, we'll probably start work on building the gold farm. And I've got a design all ready to go there. A lot of dark oak, but I'm not going to waste it making crafting tables and whatnot. So it's still daytime, which is great. Let's see, what do we got in here? Ladder sticks, and do we have a crafting table at all? Doesn't look like it, so we're going to have to make one, I think. We're going to need one in there anyway, so we can whip one up real quick. And let's head through there, and let's complete the ladder. Well, also, do I have any stone bricks? Complete the ladder well as high as I can go. I've got 6. It's a bit on the slim side. But I can... Well, it should be plenty, actually. I don't think the ladder's going to be too much higher. We were at 123, so that should be everything we need. So the next step to all of this is going to be to get rid of the tree and make sure everything is half-slabbed, stuff like that, if there is anything up there. So that we don't end up with gas spawning up here and pigmen and all that other stuff. So that couldn't have gone any better, honestly. I am surprised but happy of how well that went. So let's just get up here. And let's get some stone bricks and ladder well. Ah, perfect. So we're now up here again. So the next step to all of this is going to be to take down all the leaves and the tree itself because we don't need it anymore. So we now have access to the roof of the Nether, which is great. Now I don't know how ugly it's going to look in relation to other branches being everywhere. So we'll just have to see on that. Because monsters can't spawn on bedrock, so we will have to put in half slabs for everywhere that doesn't have bedrock on it. Oh, that's got bedrock on it, so it's not too bad. So anywhere that like has netherrack or whatever, we're gonna have to put a half slab on. Just gonna go around here first. Getting way more saplings than I was expecting. That's for sure. There we go. Probably should put those ender pearls away. And keep the netherrack out. So that now that that's gone, that's going to be fine. That's not a spawnable area. Neither is that. And this is our ladder well, so monsters can't spawn there. So now the next step to this is getting rid of this tree. There we go. Just going to have to chop this down and the leaves will decay over time. Man, this is so slow using this axe compared to what I'm used to with my diamond axe. It's not too bad in reality. There we are, and got some of that new music playing because volume beta got added. Pretty cool music, I have to say. I knew it got added, and I never really listened to it, but there's some great tracks in volume beta. So, well worth a check out, I would say. Now, I want to grab some of these mushrooms because they're everywhere, but I think that I will wait on that. And we'll go and get some more at some point. But we've got the ladder well going now successfully. I'm probably going to get some torches and whatnot up here soon. But for right now, we've got the ladder well going. And that's that project done. So I'll just let that decay and then the items can despawn later. So as for this area in here, we can fill this back in now as we don't need it, honestly. There we go. Just fill all of this area comfortably back in. And we still have a couple of extra pieces that we need, but it's not too bad. Very, very simple. I thought it was going to take a lot more work than that to get above the nether, but clearly not. So back down to the main base here, and I think at this point we may end up actually calling it an episode depending on how long we've been going for. I know that this is probably a shorter episode than normal, but I don't want to get into something big this episode. I kind of want to start that next episode when we work on the lab. I think next episode we'll start on that. Oops, so let's go back through the portal. And it's nighttime now, which is always fun. Past the night for sure. And I'm going to get my gear back on. So we need to get the rest of our armor here. There we go. And we've got our tools. I don't need that stone sword anymore. Get my work pick to replace that iron pick. And I'm going to put that iron axe away, get my actual axe back, put the power 1 bow away in favour of tip-top shooter, and we'll get our shovel in there, and of course torches in there, food, and I think that that's everything I had out of here. I did have these, but they belong in there. Bone meal can go back away in here, dark oak saplings can also go back away in here, the actual dark oak wood can go in there. We're not going to be running short on wood-based products for a while with all of that going on. Crafting table can go in there, so can the sticks and the ladders. Remaining bone meal can go in here. And I'm going to keep the dirt. Stone bricks I don't actually have any room for, which is typical. So they're going to have to sit in there temporarily. And ender pearls we can put... Where can we put ender pearls? Oh yeah, in there. So they're in mob drops. And I think at that point, well at this point actually, not that point, get the right context, Fretwell, we will probably wrap up the episode here, honestly. I think that we've done enough for today's episode. Kind of a menial episode, just getting odd jobs done and getting things kind of cleaned up and tidied up, but it's still important that we got that done. This is one of the most important things I needed to do before another update comes out, which will probably fix it, because I needed to get above the nether to make it a lot easier on building a gold farm. Now, I don't have all the supplies for the gold farm yet, so we can't build it straight away. The one thing I am heavily missing is string. Now we're going to have to find a cave spider spawner or a spider spawner and get a load of string together for putting string in tripwires. So we're going to have to hold off on that for a little bit. So we may have to go exploring once again, trying to find a spider dungeon or a mine shaft to try and get enough string together to make the tripwire for the tripwire hooks we're going to need in the gold farm. So yeah, next episode I think we're going to work on the lab, which is going to be sort of like the main hub building, and inside there we're going to have crafting, probably some brewing, an auto smelter, stuff like that. But we won't get to that next episode. It will probably just be kind of starting off the building itself. I have a lot of the supplies I need already here, such as quartz, and this is going to be made into glass. We've got plenty of clay, so we will be building that next episode, I think. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, guys, and I hope to see you in the next episode. And until then, see you later, and have a good day.